Hello everyone, this is Shlok and this is my first vertical sort of a video. I don't know if this will be a short or not. So quickly getting into it, what are we going to discuss right now? First thing that we are going to discuss is some helpful VLR tips. I've been getting a lot of DMs about how do we go about questions when we are stuck between two close options. So we're going to look into that. That is the first part of the video. Then there are going to be some other general tips and takeaways, and third is just normal random sort of conversation one day before the XAT. So let's get started. The first tip is that how do we go about poem RCs? Here I wanted to give one very specific thing I've learned over all the XAT mocks that I've taken, is that literal options are generally wrong. I think they are wrong all the time. Literal options are going to be wrong blanket. The thing is, for example, the poem says he opened his closet to find his old clothes, and one of the options would say something along the lines that he found his old outfits and he was really glad about that. But that is most likely not your answer. Something along the lines of that he found his old identity or something like that would ideally be your answer. So if it's a poem RC, try to go metaphorical and try to think that, okay, if this is literal, this is most likely not my answer. Alright, the second tip is that look out for extreme words. Look out for words such as will, only, all, none. These words are really going to help you to eliminate options. Mostly, whatever my experience has been, there could be exceptions to this, but mostly the questions that the options that include the words like likely, probably, maybe, might be, those kinds of options, they leave a lot more room for possibilities, so they are more likely to be correct. But I'm not saying that the other ones that show a lot of certainty are always wrong. So that is one tip. Also, one thing I wanted to add to the previous part of the video, that how do we differentiate when we have two close options. So I'll give you so in one of the options, so once I was stuck in between two options, and the difference I remember between two options was that first option stated teenagers and the second option stated college goers, and while I was doing that question, I could not really differentiate between them. My mind said that this is the same thing, but later on I realized, oh, this is not the same thing. College goers and teenagers are different, because now we are also going to be college goers, but we are not necessarily teenagers. So that is one very important part. Always, after you are in two very close options, be hyper focused on the specifics. In addition to that, one more example of this sort: self-learning versus self-motivated learners. So in one of the options, it was self-learning versus self-motivated learners. So there are such very minute details, very minute differences between different options that many a times create a difference of day and night. So we need to be careful, especially when we are stuck between two options. Finally, I think this is going to be the most important tip, is that we need to understand that we need to leave some questions, because VLR section is going to have 26 questions, and if I say that 12 marks in VLR is very good, that means even if you get 14 of them correct, it's a big deal. And this is because the VLR section is exceptionally it's tricky, it is ambiguous, so we need to understand that we have to let go of some questions. Super important. And don't be fixated on any of them. Some of them are too difficult, and even VARC experts like from our legacy institutes, they are also in a flux. One says some other is the answer, some say some other option is the answer. So please understand that if you can't crack it in a certain amount of time that you have fixed for yourself, you have to let that particular option go, and that question in itself, which is something that will save you a lot of time. So that's a little bit about the VLR section. After that, just some general conversation. I wanted to say all the best, and I'm traveling right now, but I couldn't make a proper video where I show the questions and explain it, so I'll really that was one limitation that I had, but this is what I could come up with. I hope you guys enjoyed our journey till now for the XAT, and I hope I was able to add some value. So all the best, and looking forward to see you at the exam center. If some of you are at the Rajkot center, I think it's I am not sure of the name, but it's something Plaza. So in Rajkot. So that is something, and all the best.